Good evening and welcome from Manchester here in England. It is the opening of the Six Nations tournament, kicking off from Manchester Stadium, sold out, to witness these two sides, these two nations do battle. It's Will Kay and the Australia Kangaroos taking on Dom Pongston and the European brethren. And a huge crowd here tonight. The atmosphere is rocking off the joint as these two sides make their way out onto the field. And what a battle this is going to be. International footy has arrived. It is season 9 for the Six Nations tournament, and Tyrone Clay joins me in the box here in England. Tyrone, what a night, what a game we've got ahead. What are we looking forward to in this matchup tonight?
Oh, what a game to open the Six Nations tournament. Obviously Australia, probably one of the better teams on paper. They're always up there. And the EU brethren, you've got to realise that they are the reigning champions. They did win the Nines tournament. So, probably what a matchup we got here, Sonny. And just can't wait for international football to get underway.
Yes, well said. We are here. The Six Nations tournament, the first international 13s tournament in the SRL. It's 9 seasons in the making. Strap yourselves in if you're watching from back home in Australia. Big g'day and a big kia ora to all the cuzzies down in NZ. Everyone tuning in on SRL TV as Will Kay gets us underway. First run-up of the game. Pongston fields it, dishes it to Oli Pache. Big hit up on the contact. And Tyrone, we'll start with this European side. What are you looking forward to the most about this side?
Really, it's all across the park, but mainly at the back. Dom Pongston leading them once again. Just absolute superstar. We know how powerful he can be. Then you've got Luke Short, the likes of Luke Short, Oli Pache, these big front rowers in the middle just working it up. What a team the EU are, and what a game this is going to be, Sonny.
Yeah, and the European fans have turned up in huge numbers. We've got fans all across the Northern Hemisphere, from Italy to Malta to Germany to France. They've all travelled. You can hear them singing in the background. This place is shaking here as the Kangaroos get their first attacking set of the game. And the Kangaroos with a lot of talent across the park. Luke Malchus, Will Kay, Coven Walmsley, Chaz Dingo, Mike Borsons. I mean, it's just star-studded all across the pitch, Tyrone.
It is, and there's a mix of experience, but there's also a mix of fresh young blood, and maybe this is what Australia need. Maybe this is why they could be up there. They could nearly win the whole thing. Ooh. As Jack Jimmy, what a run.
Jack Jimmy breaking the right edge there. 5th and last for the Kangaroos inside the red zone. They play it back in the short pocket. Will Kay. Oh, it's rebounded. It's ricocheted back towards Lockie Martin. But the EU will wrap him up there inside the 10. And Tyrone, that one going a bit off script, but Europe just doing a good job to hold on to it. And they swing it out wide to Dom Pongston. Dom Pongston just needs to get past Dingo. And what a battle that's going to be tonight, Tyrone. The two fullbacks going at it.
It is. It's going to be the battle tonight. Just really, I thought that was going to be intercepted personally. However, great work there. And now we get to see Slugger. And when the EU are in stride, they are a very, very hard team to beat.
And they did a great job in their trial game against Ireland. They actually held a 22-6 lead heading into the 55-minute mark of that game, but it was just the finish that really let them down, keeping their foot down on the pedal. And hopefully for them, they've learnt the lessons of yesterday or last week. 5th and last now. They drop back deep pocket. Kieran Wells puts up a high bomb. It's a swirler. Dingo's there to tap back. Dom Pongston! Dom Pongston scores the first try for the Europeans. And what a start they are off to. Take a bow, Pongston, the blue mohawk, the blue and gold jersey. And it is green lights here from Manchester, Tyrone. What a start for the EU.
Oh, you couldn't ask for a better start if you were the EU. Dom Pongston setting it up, making that big run off the first play, and right at the end there, gets the try, well rewarded, probably the most deserving player off a try, and it's come really early here for the brethren.
Yeah, and Lauren, I just can't get over the atmosphere here tonight. It's the opener of the Six Nations. It's sold out, and there is plenty of green and gold in the stands, but plenty of blue and gold as well. And they are very vocal. It feels like we're at a Premier League game, a Champions League game, but it is a 6-0 lead to the Europeans, and what a start, an ideal start for them, coming up against a nation like Australia, arguably the strongest team in the comp, considering the talent pool, considering the experience, and Tyrone, for the Europeans, getting off to that start, it really does a lot for their confidence.
And yeah, it will, and the kicker!
What a run! The middle. I'll tell you what, he's another one that had a standout game against Ireland last week. He was an absolute wrecking ball through the front row. And the break open play he can create off the second phase is something to keep an eye out on. The Aussies will have his number on the mark here as we see Ponkston. Third tackle now, inside Aussie half. The Europeans trying to get to the red zone as they swing it right now towards Daniel Hallier. Hallier, the 5'8" MVP winner of Season 8, looking to have a breakout game in the halfback position. And Sneeko Balbroa gets a risky offload to Luke Short. But here they are inside the 30. Fifth and last now, 61 gain on the set. Hallier puts in a stab kick towards the corner. It's going to bounce. Nathan O'Donnell there. And Nathan O'Donnell wrapped up by Ponkston. But what a good kick there from the EU.
Yeah, Aaron. The EU just seem to be on top of the Australians. Sneeko, what a shot.
Oh, Mosley, he gets bumped off, but he shrugs off Sneeko. Sorry to cut you off, Tyrone. The contact is all on full display here tonight.
Oh my goodness, yes it is. And just to realise it's not even been 10 minutes, we're already seeing such big hits. This is what the big primetime football is about. It's what you need, and Australia, they're on the back foot.
Oh, and it's a shanker kick from Jack Jimmy, but Ponkston runs it out of bounds and let off the hook there for the Aussies. Jack Jimmy, he was lined up in the pocket. He got a short kick away, and Ponkston just doing too much to run it out of bounds. And the Aussies will get the ball inside opposition half.
Yeah, definitely let off the hook, and now the Aussies, they're going to have to try and hit back at what has been a really, really fast start here from the brethren.
Yeah, and they're very good at starting off well, this European side. They're really good in the first half, especially off the opening kickoff. They bring a lot of energy, and they try and carry that momentum over into the second. But that's where they'll have to really clutch up and try and finish off the game if they're going to get a result here tonight. What an upset it would be for the Europeans to beat Australia in the opening round. They hold a 6-0 lead as the Aussies give it through the middle. Will Kay, their skipper, gets them shy of the 10. 24 gain, fifth and last. They drop back to Harris in the short pocket. Harris sends it up high. Who's going to be under it? It's Dom Ponkston, and he's taken off the ball, or taken with the ball. And a bit of a scuffle there in backfield as we get the play back on the way. But clutch stuff from Dom Ponkston, Tyrone. He's going to have a game of his life if he's going to help lead his team to an upset victory here over Australia.
I mean, you could almost say he already is having the game of his life. He's just outworking the Aussies, and I think the whole team's outworking the Aussies right now. They're all just standing up for each other, and the EU, they're in their stride now, and it's going to be hard to stop them.
And their fans are in full voice as Don Ponkston breaks the line. He just had to get past Dingo, but Dingo doing a great job to wrap him up here. The green and gold back on their own line now. 4 tackle, inside ball, straight to Pache. Pache is going to try and budge, but he's held up, fifth and last. They scramble now, lined up in the kick formation. They can't get the ball away in time. And Michael McLucky, he got rushed up on there from the defensive line, and he just couldn't get the kick away, forcing the mistake and the turnover. The Aussies now fighting back deep within their red zone.
Yeah, and probably a disappointing hit to that step for the EU, but the way just to get it down all the way almost onto Australia's line is really at work. And now the EU, they're putting up a great defensive bout, and Australia, they've got to try something new. It's just not working currently, and the EU seem to be all over him.
Yeah, they're falling right into the EU's hands. They're playing their style of footy, trying to run it through the middle and just break open through the forward pack. And that's exactly what Europe wants. They love that forward pack battle. They're not afraid of it. And one thing they do is they'll utilise their forwards, the likes of a Luke Short and Ollie Parche, to break open through the middle and try and get that offload away towards their edges. And when you're worried about the forward pack, that's when they can use the back line to try and capitalise as well. If they fly under the radar, the Aussies, they might get caught off guard here. So they're going to have to keep their heads on the swivel as Wally Allen now plays the ball. It's a short ball inside to Luke Short, shrugs off Will Kay. Luke Short, oh, he puts on a step. Gets past Chaz Dingo, but good cover defence there from Jack Jimmy for tackle. Daniel Hellier through the middle, he had space, but he throws it. They go back deep to Demando. Pongston was through. He poked his head through, but they pass it deep to lose meters now. 5th and last. The Europeans play the ball at the 30. Luke Short will have a crack. It's a good kick towards the corner. Justin plays wrapped up. Great tackle there from the European line. And geez, Tyrone, they nearly got through. Once again, the Europeans, as James Thorne finds space on the right edge, cuts in field. And the EU bringing the pressure early on. The Aussies fighting off the wall at the moment.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job at it, but the question is, how long will it hold up for? Because if they have to keep fighting and fighting for long periods of time, it will eventually break down and the EU will go straight through.
And Chaz Dingo, reliable as always. He's the perennial number one for the Australia Kangaroos. Been there many a time, many a seasons, as Borsons gets a good kick towards the corner of Demando. Watch out! Demando on the right edge. Brought down by Coben Romsey. A great tackle from the big second rower. But that'll be first. 35 out from their own line as they try and get to the halfway. Sneeko Balbroa wrapped up in the tackle by Malchus and James Thorne. 18 minutes played here from Manchester's Ollie Parche, one of the Maltese representatives in this European side. A fair few of them in contingent for the EU, as Yayo Maikazi gets him an Aussie half now. They go flat ball, Don Pongston tries to break through the gap, but it'll be wrapped up by Will Kay. 5th and last now. The Europeans lined up in formation to get the kickoff. Bit of a slow play of the ball. They drop back to McLucky. Crossfield kick from McLucky, and Nathan O'Donnell is there to field it. He finds space, just has to get past Pongston, and Pongston with his signature ankle tap, potential try saver. And what a performance from Don Pongston, Tyrone. He's really stepping up and playing out of his skin so far.
Yeah, well, I mean, if EU are to do well, he has to, and so far he is. And Dingo, well, whenever you see Dingo with the ball, he is a very hard man to stop, but he looks threatening.
Will Kay straight to the middle, and Don Pongston there to collect him. But that'll get the Aussies about 3-4 metres away from the try line. 4 tackle now. Flat ball, Jackson Allison straight off the bench, straight on the field, and across the line he goes. Bennett, what a try. They're going to turn it up to the bunker. And Jackson Allison running it straight at Sneeko Balbroa. Mano a mano stuff there. And the Aussies on the board for their first try of the game.
Talk about impact. He's just run up to the field. He's just got in the line and he just gets the ball and he goes over. 41 seconds into your stand. A try. You can't ask for much more than that.
Josh Morris, eat your heart out. Bennett just coming, Allison coming straight off the bench into the action, and he was just screaming for that ball. And it finds him nice and flat there to barge over the line. Sneeko Balboa couldn't do enough to hold him up, and it's 6-all in favour, level up here. Even terms between Australia and Europe. 21 minutes played here from Manchester, and I'll tell you what, Tyrone, given the first 21 minutes, what a battle, what a slog it's been. I mean, the Europeans have really just turned up here, and the Aussies, they needed a bit of luck to go their way, and they're finally on the board now. What a game it's been so far.
Oh yeah, it's lived up to all the hype, and Australia did well to just hold out what was an incredible period there for the EU, just barraging at the Australians. But I think the Aussies will be very happy that the scoreline is 6-all at the moment, because they'd feel like that they should be down by 6 right now.
Yeah, and they're slowly finding their rhythm in the green and gold as they play it at the 43rd tackle. Cody Ogg, watch out for his speed on the edge. Gets into the halfway line now. Australia trying to get inside EU territory, and they do so through Dingo. But he's brought down inside opposition 40, 5th and last now. Where will they go? The Aussies in the pocket, drop it to Mike Borsons. And Xavier Armando there to field it. He's got space, Armando. Just needs to get past Dingo. And tit for tat. Anything you can do, I can do better. Dingo getting an ankle tap on to stop that breakaway play. Reminiscent of Ponkston's play just moments ago. But the EU now find themselves inside Aussie half. Jake Scott straight through the middle. What a game he had in the trials. A bit more playing time than he expected. But he really helped open up the play there as Diego Markazi tries to find the gap in the edges. Brought down there by Cody Ogg. 4 tackle now. Short ball to McLucky. He'll just take him short, shy of the 10. 76 on this set. 5th and last. Luke Short's in the pocket. He's going to have a go. He sends it up. And it's taken beautifully by Chaz Dingo. And Chaz Dingo, what a clutch performer he is. Especially under the high ball. And he's going to have his work cut out for him tonight against a backline like the EU's. I'll tell you what, he's been holding his own here so far, Chaz Dingo.
He has. Even though he hasn't done too much else, he's done enough to keep Australia within arm's reach of this game. And now we get to see the EU. They're just pressing on them here.
Yeah, the Aussies struggling to make meters on that set. 5th and last. Still inside their 40 as they dish it left side. Back in the deep pocket to Harris. Harris will just punt it downfield, and Commando's there to field it on the return. Taken by James Thorne. And a good kick from Harris. First tackle for the Europeans. They give it to Diego Markazi. First contact meters on the play here. Second tackle now. They go left side. Jake Scott dishes it out to Michael Crimp. Michael Crimp now. Edges closer towards or inside the Aussie half. Short ball, Luke Short inside to Jordan Marshall. And the Europeans past couple of plays not really making much meters, but they are in Aussie half. Oh, it's a flat ball to Crimp. He might be taken out into touch. And what a great defensive tackle there from Justin Plays. Getting up in the grill of Michael Crimp and forcing him over the sideline.
Oh, brilliant play there. Good instincts from Justin Plays. He's played out on the wing on numerous occasions, so he knows how to defend that, and that was really well done. And now Australia look to attack here.
And what a battle it's been between Australia and Europe. Right here on SRL TV, Jesse Bennett, the teacher, barges over his defender and gets off to Blake Harris. This game being played in Manchester Stadium that hosted the Manchester Nines World Cup tournament in season 7, I believe it was. Third tackle now. The Aussies trying to get to the red zone. Bomsey will take him there. As it's 4th, they got numbers on the left. That's where they go. Inside ball to Bennett. Just takes the contact. Inside the 10 now. The Aussies looking to put in a good kick. 5th and last. They drop in the short pocket. Harris sends it up. Perfectly placed. Who's going to be under it? It's a tap back. Dingo's got it. Can he barge over? Chaz Dingo. There you go. We're going to send it to the bunker. But Chaz Dingo, I think just too much power from him. Too much momentum, and Kieran Wells just couldn't stop him from crossing the line. And the Aussies, they should get the try here, Tyrone.
Oh, they will get the try here, and just well worked from the Aussies, just getting it down the right end, and Dingo comes up with the chocolates, and now they are in the lead.
And off to 2 unanswered tries now for the Kangaroos. After conceding the first points of the game, courtesy of a Dom Pongston try. And now finding their groove as Will Kay gets ready to slot it from the right-hand side and does so successfully. Just under half an hour played here from Manchester. 12-6 is the score in favour of Australia. It is the opening round of the Six Nations tournament. A big game here today and tomorrow. It'll be The New Zealand Kiwis taking on the Great Britain Lions. And on Wednesday, we will have the third and final game of the first week. It'll be Pacifica taking on Ireland. All 3 games here at this venue, sold out. And I don't know what just happened there. I thought it was a mistake. Referee ruling Tyrone. I think that was a questionable call there.
I thought it was a forward pass from Wilgate personally. Could have been even a knock-on from Wilgate at the very start. The referee calls play on. I don't think that's the right call, but Australia, I think they got away with one there.
Yeah, and the European crowd just booing the ref in full voice. They're not happy with that one. And they're going to want all the chances they can get, all the rub of the green they can get in this match against a side like Australia as Chaz Dingo through the left edge. Breaks through the line and he's wrapped up by Dom Pongston. 5th and last now. The Aussies give it to Blake Harris, and Harris will just send it downfield. Catches the Mondo on the run. And the Mondo trying to return that ball, but just closing off that gap there. And I think the Kangaroos have done a great job at shutting down that side of the field. The Mondo and Slugger were working wonders against Ireland in their trials last week. It feels like that's something that they've game planned for. They go inside to Jago Maikazi. Gets him to the 30. And the Europeans struggling to make meters on this set now as they go inside to Dom Pongston. There you go. Finds a bit of space with the offload to Wells, and it's a forward pass. And the crowd once again blowing up. That one looked very flat. But Australia now with the ball inside European half.
Yeah, and just a bit unlucky there for the EU. Trying to throw the ball around a bit, unfortunately.
Cody Ogg straight to the right edge. Cody Ogg finds the space. No fullback in the backfield, out of position, and Cody Ogg, great awareness, exposing that gap, and he gets across for the 3rd try of the evening for the Kangaroos.
Yeah, great determination, and now you have to say the Kangaroos, they're hitting their stride. We thought in the first 20 or so minutes they're a bit lazy, a bit lackluster. Now they've hit their gear, and now they're on fire.
Yeah, they finally got on that boot up the backside after that start. But they were down 6-0, and all of a sudden kick to come. Will K's gonna make it 18-6. 33 minutes played here from Manchester Stadium. And the Europeans doing a good job early in the first half. But it has taken its toll. The fatigue factor, you'd have to say, is settling in. They haven't really been able to make much meters in their attacking sets for the past 10-15 minutes. And against a side like Australia, you really need to bring that pressure for the full 80. We saw what the Lions did to them in the trials last week. And despite having a 22-6 lead, I think it was, the Aussies did come back in the second half, and they took that game right at the death. So Tyrone, if you're the Europeans, you really need to just play an 80-minute game and not let Australia have the ball.
Oh, definitely. Just even if you give any side the potential to play 80 minutes, since this is so even, I think any team has the chance of winning a game.
Oh, taken off the ball. Cody Ogg just gets rocked there. Wally Allen there to skip it up. Sorry to cut you off, Tyrone, but the Europeans now with the ball inside Aussie half, and they could have one shot to get on the board before half time. They got to try and make good meters here through Jago Maikazi. He cuts back in field. He nearly had Dingo on the ankles, on the skates. 3rd tackle now. They go right side, back inside to Luke Short. The Europeans inside the 10 now. In the red zone. Where will they go? 4th tackle. They go left. McLucky dishes it out. Crimp scores! And Crimpy is across the line. Try time to the Europeans, and what a score, what a play. They get themselves back in this game, Tyrone.
Yeah, they needed to score there. Great set play there from just kicking it out to Crimp. Yet again, Dom Pongston, that man, setting it up. He has had a brilliant game. The EU, they're really coming back into this, but it's still going to be a big of a task.
Yep, still work to be done. As Kieran Wells will get ready to slot it right to left, lights in his eyes. No problems for the European hooker. 18-12 is the score. The Aussies with a 6-point lead over the Europeans with just over 3 minutes to go in this first half. What a game it's been here on SRL TV. Very tightly contested between the two sides. And this is the sort of game that you want. This is the sort of game that you want to witness. These two sides just bringing the animal out of each other as we see how he field it. Gives it all the way out to Jordan Marshall, who finds space. But he's brought down there in a good tackle by Will Kay. First now for the Europeans, Diego Maikazi on the left edge, brought down by Cody Ogg, who won't let him get away this time. They shift it left side, the Europeans give it to Nofolingawi. Stop shy of the 30 now. You have to say they're just going to try and run down the clock. Game management, clock management skills on display. For tackle, lined up in formation for the kick. Luke Shaw will have a stab. Shanks it straight to Will Kay, and Will Kay just picks it off. And danger signs once again for the Europeans on the brink of half time as they shift it out right. Jack Jimmy there, brought down inside the 20. Just over a minute to go in this first half. Can the Aussies get on the board one more time before they hit the sheds? The Europeans trying to hold up on their own goal line. Third tackle. They go inside to Borsons. Borsons just takes the contact. It's fourth now. Where will they go? The Aussies. They go left side. Will Kay is there. Gets an offload. Liam Martin tries to split the defenders, but he's wrapped up. Fifth and last. One more roll of the dice in this first half. The Aussies give it to Harris. It's a grubber off the post. Will Kay puts it down, but referee rules no try. It's play on, and it'll be half time. We'll see you in the second. Welcome back to the second half from Manchester Stadium. What a game it's been to open up the Six Nations. It's Australia with an 18-12 lead over the Europeans. And what a first half it was. Team EU getting off to the first points, or getting the first points of the game, courtesy of a Dom Pongston try. The Kangaroos did well to reply with 3 unanswered before the Europeans struck back late towards the first half. And subjects cleared for the Kangaroos, but Tyrone, what an opening first half it was. The Europeans holding their own, but Australia with a 6-point lead, and they looked comfortable throughout most of that first half.
Yeah, Australia just showing their class, showing why they are one of the best teams in this tournament. But so far, you could almost say that anyone can still win, basing off the fact that the EU were able to fight and put up a fight against this Australian side, so it's a very open contest here.
Yeah, very neck and neck. And Thomas Usher, they go off script. No kick on the play, but Usher trying to break open through the left edge. And he'll get them to the 30. Yes, bit of ad-lib play there. And subchecks now cleared for both nations. And risky ball to Dom Pongston. And just a reminder, there will be another sub-check at the 60-minute mark. As we see them give it out towards Michael Crimp. On the left wing, he steps inside. And if it wasn't for the cover defence there, he would have been past Dingo. Third tackle, the Europeans in Kangaroos half as they give it Wells. Flat ball, cut out to Oli Pache, straight back to Luke Short. Luke Short marches it about 26 away from the try line. Back inside they go to Jake Scott. And Jake Scott gets him to the 25th and last now. A good kick needed from Europe. They give it to McLucky. Sends up a high bomb. They might let it bounce here. Nathan O'Donnell doing a good job. Gave himself a bit of a run up. And he'll just catch that one to give the Aussies a set restart from the 20.
Yeah, and Nathan O'Donnell, too calm for my liking though. I would have loved to see him under the ball the whole time. Giving a little bit of nerves, but he manages to do the job anyways.
Yeah, you don't want to make a mistake at this level with all the eyes on you. In front of a crowd like this, the European fans in full voice once again. Make no mistake, this is rugby league, but it does have a feel of a football soccer match to it, doesn't it? As we see Borsons give it flat ball inside to Malchus. And Luke Malchus will get them to the 40. Australia now back outside to Mike Borsons. Brought down by Jaeger Maikazi. 38 gained on this set. 45 minutes played. They dish it to Will Kay. Will Kay will go for the corner kick. And Slugger's there to return it. Can't get past Thomas Sasha. But a good kick from Will Kay to pin the Europeans deep in their own red zone.
Yeah, her and Australia are already putting on the pressure. EU just going to have to stand up. They're going to need to find a few big plays from their star players like Dom Pongston. And it's going to, if they can find that, then God, we're going to have a very good game on our hands.
Yeah, well said. And for the Europeans, Lee Simon and Bobby Werman on at half-time from the bench. And for the Aussies, Maverick Oldfield jumping into the back line, and Mark Lee taking over the hooker role. As Hellier gets the ball now, fifth and last. Europeans in deep, and they'll kick it towards O'Donnell. Run it back. O'Donnell nearly gets past Pongston. He got past that left line of defence. And a good position for the Aussies to start it off as they get inside opposition half now. Luke Malkus barging his way on the post contact. Second tackle now. Boston shifts it out. Justin plays. Nearly cuts in field. But he's wrapped up there. Bite on Pongston. Third tackle now. The Aussies inside the red zone. They're getting closer. They can feel the try line within reach. On the 10 they play the ball. Fourth tackle. Malkus just runs it straight at Pongston. Pongston not shying away from the challenge. It's fifth and last now. Harris is in the short pocket. That's where they go. They'll try and wrap him up. Harris is going to barge his way over. And I think it's another try for the Aussies. The Kangaroos get across once again. We'll send it to the bunker. But Blake Harris, one-on-one with Ollie Parche. And he just couldn't stop the momentum there, Tyrone.
Yeah, it's very hard to stop the momentum of Blake Harris when he's running at 100 miles an hour. But great work from Australia, showing their class, marching their way down the field, and they end up getting rewarded for their efforts.
And an early dagger to the heart for the Europeans. They're going to find themselves down two scores yet again. But over half an hour to be played in the second half. Mark Lee with an easy conversion from right in front to take the lead out to 12. And Australia now finding a bit of breathing room as they did in the first half. But they cannot afford to let their foot off the gas. These Europeans, we know how passionate they are when it comes to representing Europe at the international level. They've been playing with their hearts on their sleeves all game. But the Aussies, too much class at the moment. And they'll just have to look after the ball. They've got a good lead. They'll just try and grind out this game, you'd have to think. Try and wear down the European defence. And not turn it over. No unforced mistakes. As we see Walmsley now about 35 out from their own line. Will Kay gets a big fend off on Kieran Wells. Brought down by Luke Short. Third tackle now. Aussies encroaching on European soil. The European half. 15 minutes played here from Manchester. It's 24-12 on your Six Nations broadcast here on SRL TV. As Lachlan Martin now plays the ball. I'll give it back in the pocket. Borson's nearly kicking it into his own teammate, but gets the ball off. Michael Crimp, bit of space to work with, but he's wrapped up. And the Aussies, their backline, been doing a good job for the most part to stop the kick return.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're just working as a group, and that's why they're keeping the EU inside their own side of halfway, as I say that.
Oh, Ollie Parche, he found space and he just forces the offload, or forces the pass straight into the grips of Justin Plays. And Parche, what a run it was from him. Didn't need to force his hand. Luke Malkus through the middle. Brought down on the 20. It's danger signs now for the Europeans. The Aussies already inside the red zone with another 3 tackles up their sleeve. Malkus gets the offload from Will Kay. Third tackle now. Left side, they shift it towards Walmsley. Walmsley, few contact meters, post contact on the play. Fourth tackle. They go short side to Borsons. Borsons will have a go now. Oh, just stop short of the line. Fifth and last Aussies. Where are they going to go? Mark Lee plays it in the pocket. Harris puts in a grubber, and it's picked up by Daniel Hellier. And a great job by Hellier. Clutch stuff on him on the goal line. keeps Europe in the fight.
Yeah, they needed that Europe. They just didn't need Australia to score. Now, it's going to be hard for the EU, but they've got to try and put on some pressure, make one or a few big plays, and you might have a chance at this if you're lucky.
And the Europeans struggling to make meters off this set. They might need a kick to get them out of pressure, but they won't go for it. Werman just takes the contact, wrapped up there, 5th and last now. Where will they go, the Europeans? They drop it to Howier, but Jake Scott's in the way. Cops it off the noggin, but he's hitting the tread now. And he doesn't push the pass out, he'll just take the contact. And that one nearly a stinker there for the Europeans, but Jake Scott doing his best to try and save the play, and he makes up for a bit of lost ground. Oh, Lachlan Martin.
What a run, Lachlan Martin, obviously such a brilliant player, and now the Aussies, they're showing their class, and I think this is going to be too hard for the EU. I think they don't have a grip on this game, and we know what Australia can do, and they'll probably run away with this one.
Yeah, outside the opening 20 minutes, the Europeans, it just feels like they've been biting off the back foot here. And one more try off the set at 6 again called. The European fans are absolutely devastated. They are letting the ref know how they feel about that decision. And the Aussies with another full set under their sleeve. Malkus turned on his back on the line. First tackle now. The Aussies could ice the game right here. Chaz Dingo wrapped up. Good tackle. The European goal line defense trying to staunch it out here. Trying to hold on. It's an intercept. Oli Parche. He's got space. He's got numbers. He won't use it. The big forward. What a turnaround of events for the Europeans. Oli Parche comes up clutch there. And now they've got a chance here, Tyrone. They're inside the Aussie half.
As I said earlier, they needed a big play from one of their stars. And Oli Parche, he's provided that. And now the EU, they've got some quality field position. I don't think they've seen this good a field position for quite a while. So they need to take advantage of this.
They definitely do. They're just shy of the red zone. 5th and last, 73 gained on the set. Where will they go? They need a good kick. They go short side. Oh my goodness! Who was that just got folded?
I think it was
Nick Lucky. They might have to take him off on HIA. He tried to get the grubber and Malkus just gives him an absolute ripper of a shot. That spills that ball out, spits it out loose. And it goes begging for the Europeans, Tyrone.
Yeah, it does. And Malkus, he shows no mercy, and he just almost breaks the EU's hearts. Just brilliant play, and now we get to see Australia here.
In the pocket for the 40-20 attempt, Blake Harris kicks it. He's got the distance, doesn't have the angle, and it'll be Ponkston to return it from his goal line. Can't step through the gap or the line. And sub-check's about to be performed on this tackle. And the sub-check has been cleared for the Europeans that have missed communications on the sideline. But Sneeko Balbroa will take to the field as Bobby Werman now tries to get them going. 4 tackle, they're going to line up in the pocket. Kick time. Oh, it's a shaker straight to Mike Borsons. And Mike Borsons ends up with it. I'll tell you what, Tyrone, I think that hit on Hellier, or on McLucky I should say, has probably dinged them up a bit. That was not the best kick there.
Yeah, as now we'll get to see Dingo. Oh, what a play there from the Australians. And now everything touching distance of putting this game to bed.
As they play the ball now, the Kangaroos shy of the line. And Wilkay turned over on his back. Play will be called up here, but this could be the dagger play if the Aussies score once again. As they drop in the pocket, Blake Harris sends it high. And it goes to Michael Crimp, takes it well. He's got a bit of space, Michael Crimp. He's going to go coast to coast. He's got no one in front of him. Michael Crimp is going to run it all the way for a try. And the Europeans back on the board once again, with a chance to get within touching distance of the Kangaroos. 24-16, kick to come. Tyrone, Absolute brilliance there from Crimpy.
When you would have thought the EU were out of it, they're not out of it, Crimp. He goes the length of the field for his second of the night. And now the EU, at one end, they were looking like they could have gone down by 18 points. Now they're only going to be down by 6, and that is a real 12-point play there.
The beauty of a play there from Crimpy. He's a long-distance specialist with the kick returns. You give him enough space. He doesn't need much, but you give him enough, and he can make the opposition pay. It's 24-18 in favour of Australia. They currently hold a 6-point lead, but the Europeans, their fans, back in full voice. They're starting to believe a little bit now. They can breathe a bit easier, but the task is still ahead of them. They need another score. They need another try. As Werman's there to field the kickoff. First tackle now for the Europeans inside their own red zone. Sneeko Balboa takes it through the right edge. And the Europeans with a bit of hope now. They've been struggling to make meters off the attacking sets. And you have to think, Tyrone, they're going to need a good kicking game to try and get them back in this game.
Yeah, and we'll actually get to see their kicking display, hopefully. Hopefully it's not the worst thing.
40-20 attempt. Michael McLucky, he just jogs it. He just jogs it. I think he's really carrying a HIA, Tyrone. I think he's carrying a head knock. He was just lost in La La Land there, but the Europeans will get a kick away now, courtesy of Daniel Hellier. Maverick Oldfield on the return, steps one. Oldfield brought down in a clutch tackle by Ponkston. And the Aussies already inside European half. They go inside our play to Chaz Dingo. And Ponkston there to wrap him up once again. If it was not for Ponkston, who knows how many tries could have been let through here in the backfield. He's been doing a great job defensively. However, the Aussies, they've been finding points all across, pretty much straight through the middle of the field. And James Thorne just gets laid out by Oli Pache. He'll feel that one in the morning. Fourth tackle now, the Aussies get about 4 meters away from the try line. 66 minutes played. Fifth and last. Harris sends it high. Who's going to be there to contest it? It's Lee Simon. Steps one, Lee Simon. He's got space. I'm going to lose my voice. Lee Simon, the absolute legend. He is going to level the terms for the Europeans. Tyrone, in the past 10 minutes, we have witnessed magic from the Europeans. 24-22, kick to come.
Oh, the EU, they find a way yet again. Lee Simon, one of his first touches in this game, and it's very important. And now the EU, they're going to have a chance to make it level. Who would have thought of this about probably 10 minutes ago?
Manchester Stadium is absolutely rocking now. European fans in full voice. Oh, just look at them. They know that what they're doing is special. They're putting up a fight. The Aussies, they really need to knuckle down. They do not want to lose a game against a tier 2 side like the Europeans, but they cannot afford to get complacent. We know that Australia has the class. They have the experience right across the board. But I'll tell you what, Tyrone, the Europeans, they're playing with absolute belief, aren't they?
Yeah, maybe they've gone back to what they were doing in the first 20 minutes, and it seemed to be working. And now for the EU, it's about trying to get back down there and possibly getting a field goal. We could be getting into field goal territory, and I think Dom Pongston's going to have to be that man that stands up for his team and get them down there.
Oh, what a prospect it is. We could be heading into golden point territory. We could be heading into field goal territory. 24-24 is the score, locked up between Australia and Europe. My voice is a bit shot now. I need to find someone with a pack of Strepsils, because it is cracking over here. As Crimpy tries to get space on the side. They might go for another 40-20 attempt. McLucky has a shot. He'll just send it downfield. Dingo there to return it. Steps Pache brought down. A better kick this time from McLucky. But the Aussies with a good position now as they try and get into our enemy half. Oldfield gets the offload away to his Storm teammate, James Thorne. Queensland teammate as well. The two both playing for the Maroons in their careers. Eddie Ogg takes him through the middle. It's third tackle, less than 10 minutes remaining in your opening Six Nations game. Right here on TBC Live. Only brought to you by TBC Live. Oh, Blake Harris! He goes for the field goal! And Blake Harris slots it from over 30 metres. And what a play, what a kick, what a field goal from Blake Harris. Tyrone, a moment of magic from the young Kangaroos half.
Yeah, brilliant work. He just saw no one was rushing up onto him, so he's like, well, I may as well take the shot. And he ended up getting it straight over the black dot, and Australia up by 1, but now for the EU, they're going to have to pull off something here to win this.
Blake Harris, what a moment. It was clutch stuff there from the young half. The North Queensland Cowboy as of next season. And a bit of a risky play there. He took it very early. There's still 8 minutes left. And the Europeans, you don't think they're going to want to go for a field goal. You're going to have to think that they're going to try and go for the win and try and get a try. As we see Borsons now, gives it inside to Cody Ogg. Cody Ogg gets him to the halfway line. Fourth tackle, the Kangaroos shift it left. Harris gives it to Walmsley, nearly finds space, but brought down in a great tackle there from Bobby Werman. Fifth and last now, the Kangaroos lined up in the short pocket. Mark Lee there to kick it. Watch out, there's a kick return coming up. Oh, no. They let it bounce. Oh, it's off the noggin. No. It's a miscommunication. What? And that one nearly turns into disaster for Europe.
I thought it was a disaster. However, they end up surviving, and now you'd think they have to try the Hail Mary.
Oh, it's a drop ball. Knock on force there. And Mark Lee returns it on the counter-attack. Sorry to cut you off again, Tyrone, but the Europeans, they've bottled that set. They now have to try and stand another defensive set inside their own red zone. This could be the dagger play for the Kangaroos. One try from here, and you'd have to say it's all over, barring they miss the conversion. But the Kangaroos now with a chance to ice the game. Straight from dummy off. Mark Lee gets the big fend up and goes across the line to score for the Kangaroos. And what a try it was from Mark Lee coming on in the second half. And he caught the markers offside. Bobby Werman there. Pache cops it straight to the chest, and Mark Lee scores the potential game winner for Australia.
Yeah, and just great play there. Great heads-up play from Mark Lee. He's a very, very good player. Saw that the markers were offside, took advantage of it, and now Australia, you'd have to think this would be it. The EU, I don't think they can come back from here, but still, even with this margin, EU have put up one hell of a fight against this Australian side.
Yeah, definitely, Tyrone. The Europeans got to be so proud of this performance. But I tell you what, that play between Nofoalin and his teammate, that miscommunication on the kick return, that could have cost the Europeans a try. We know how good they are on those returns. And just, like I said, miscommunication, teammates not knowing who's going to catch the ball, they let it bounce. And following that same set, Europeans with pressure inside their own red zone. They're going to try and force a miracle here, but it is going to take something of an absolute miracle proportion to try and steal this game. Down by 7. I thought that might have been a forward pass from dummy, but the referee rules play on. Quite a few no calls in today's game. Referees letting the action flow for the most part as Usher takes him on the left edge. Fourth tackle now. Europe gonna try and hold on for one more tackle, and they'll have a chance to return here, but this is all or nothing. This is do or die. They need a big set off the kick return. Who's gonna step up? Who's gonna be the man of the hour? It's taken from Michael Krim. Michael Krim's got space. He just needs to get past Dingo, but Dingo cuts him off. Great return from Crimpy. The belief still in the Europeans. They go short side to Demando. Demando takes him inside the 20. They're officially in the red zone. 2 minutes remaining. Can they do it? Can the Europeans force a miracle? Riley Pache gets offload to Demando. They're so close to the line now, 3 metres away, third tackle, they shift it left, they go, oh, Punxton is left up, fourth tackle, the Europeans, what can they do? They go left, Mike Huzzy, he'll take the contact, will he get across, he's held up. Oh, jeez, the Europeans, they are not going to go down without a fight. They are swinging until the lights go out, and Boston's doing a great job to match up defensively against Diego Maikazi, but one last roll of the dice. The Europeans now, what can they come up with? McLucky sends it high. Who's going to come down with it? It's a Hail Mary. Tap back. Mark Lee's there to steal it for the Kangaroos, and Tyrone, that's going to be game. The Aussies will get away with the victory here. Just need to run out the clock. But what a game from both sides. The Europeans showing such a great fight throughout tonight, but it's going to be the green and gold getting the W here today.
Yeah, it will be, and as you said, great fight from the EU, but I think the difference for the Australians was Mark Lee when he came on at hooker. The impact that he had, just brilliant.
And that is full time, 31-24. The Australia Kangaroos get the job done in Manchester. What a game, right down to the final minute. Michael Crimp devastated with the loss here tonight. What a performance it was from him. Really stood up out of his skin tonight. Don Ponkston as well, but the Kangaroos, too much class. Well-deserved victory. But full-time score, 31-24. Kangaroos get it done. We'll take a look at your TBC Live stats. And Tyrone, I'll let you break this all down here, but what a game.
Yeah, great stuff. Obviously, we can see Australia had more of the ball, and from what it looks like as well, Australia made use with that possession, and they made less errors, more line breaks. They're a bit more clinical, you'd have to say, than the Brethren, and that's probably the reason why they won this game.
Yeah, the Aussies completing a majority of their sets, 23 from 26, less errors as well. The Europeans 18 from 24 with 6 errors to their name. Nearly 200 tackles being made. 30 missed tackles as well. The Aussies just getting the edge with the line brace, and we'll cross over to the player stats.
It's good to see Mark Lee up the top with 41 minutes of game time as well. Absolutely brilliant. Try, assist, a try, 2 conversions. What a game. Dingo, reliable as ever, although missing 3 tackles, that is unlike him. And Sonny, anyone else in particularly that caught your eye?
Yeah, I thought Blake Harris, the obvious standout with that one to clutch it at the with the field goal. But I thought the halves pairing for the Kangaroos worked well tonight. Harris and Borsons, it's a great combo. They had a great kicking game here tonight, respectively. I thought Luke Malchus through the front row did a decent job, but really off the back of a lot of play from the backline of the Kangaroos, especially Chaz Dingo. I mean, yeah, it was a solid all-round team performance, off to a bit of a shaky start. But I mean, you know, the Kangaroos, they're a team you can just never write off. No matter what point in the game, how much they're down by, they're always a team that's going to be competitive. And yeah, I thought, you're right, Mark Lee, the standout in that second half, coming on our hooker, putting in 176 1 meters to lead the way for the Aussies. That crucial try that sealed it for them. I mean, he was just all over the park tonight, wasn't he, in that second half? We'll move over to the European side.
With the Europeans, Crimp obviously had those 2 big runs, but just what a game for him in general. 6 line breaks, a double. Top of the run meters, Ollie Palche, 7 line breaks from the prop. Hogston, another good game as he always does. A lot of well-rounded performance from the EU, however, unfortunate not to grab the chockies. And Sonny, anyone else that caught your eye?
Yeah, Crimpy, without a doubt, definitely the number 1 performer for the Europeans tonight. And moments where they were down and out and looked like not much happening, Crimpy just found a way to make something happen and really helped turn the tide of the game, particularly with that last try they scored. And he had a run-up within the final minutes to get the Europeans in the opposite half, but they couldn't finish it. And besides that, I thought Ollie Parche through the middle really had a great performance. He was tough to take down. Jake Scott as well in his opening stint in the first half.
What's that sounding? Shout out to Lee Simon. 1 run, 98 metres. Had the try, obviously. What a performance.
Lee Simon, he's the reason why my voice cracked, and I'm probably going to cop it from a few in SRL chat. But it was that great of a try, I just had to scream it. Only one touch, you'd have to think you got to get him the ball more, but I mean, all things considered, you know, the Europeans, they played a more team performance, you know, spreading the workload and shifting it around, not relying on any particular one player. They really got to be proud of this performance. They didn't win tonight, but they really put up a good fight. And it just shows you can't underestimate the Europeans. They're in Pool A alongside Australia and Pacifica, so they're up against it. But with a performance like that, on their day, they can go toe-to-toe with anyone. But your thoughts, Tyrone, on this European side?
Oh, just brilliant. Even though, as he said, they didn't come up with the win, they just played so brave, and I think they'll still be one of the top teams coming into the rest of this competition. They could be a potential dark horse as well, going later on into the competition.
Yeah, definitely. Don't sleep on Team Europe, but don't sleep on the Kangaroos. They have come away with a brilliant win here tonight in Manchester to kick off their Six Nations tournament, and that'll get them 1-0 for their standings with a 7+ points differential. And it'll be tough matchups for them both next week. Australia will be taking on Pacifica in the next round. The Europeans will be doing battle with, I'll have to double check. I should have checked. Oh geez, what a great co-commissioner I am. Very coordinated.
Yeah.
But anyways, thank you so much for joining myself and Tyrone Clay. It's been an absolute privilege as always. Join us tomorrow for the second game. It'll be the New Zealand Kiwis taking on the Great Britain Lions back here at Manchester Stadium on SRL TV. Have a good night, and we'll see you then.
Seize the day.